All right, greetings everybody, and welcome to week number 15. That is right, week number 15 of your 7314 class, which is your reference class. As always, I'm your professor, Dr. Jace K. Austin, and the first thing I want to say is you made it. This is the last check-in video. It's the last regular week of the course. From here on out, you will just have to be responsible for getting those semester-long projects done and to meet on time. But aside from that, you are done with the course. You have made it. This is one of your required courses, so you should definitely feel like you have accomplished something. Feel like you've accomplished something no matter what the course is, honestly. But for a required course, it is a special accomplishment to just be able to say, yes, I got through it. This was not necessarily a class that I wanted to take. It was a class that the college said I had to take in order to get the degree. I took it. I dealt with Dr. J's. Hopefully you'll say he wasn't that bad and you will like the class. Hopefully you either liked the class, or if you didn't like the class, then at least hopefully you are happy to be done with the class. Either way, I'm excited for you because I'm excited to see when my students have accomplished something, and this is definitely an accomplishment, again, to get through yet another class. And what we're going to do with this check-in video is first I'm going to have a state of the course update with a few closing remarks, and then I'm also just going to tell you if you're interested in public services, specifically as a librarian, then I'm going to tell you some classes that I recommend that you take. Let's first deal with the state of the course update. Again, all you have left to do in the class, hold on for a second. All you have to do left in the class is your semester-long project, which is due on the 9th. So that is going to be the Friday. Is going to be due Friday. So yes, your semester-long project is going to be due Friday. So be diligently working on those throughout the rest of this week. And yeah, it will take me a long time. I'll just be honest with you. No reason not to be honest with you. It does take me a long time to grade those semester-long projects. So it's going to be a little while. You grade it. I mean, you finish it, you turn it in, but it's going to be a little while before you get a grade from me. And plus I am finishing up with the grading in this class, with some other things as well. I have started on grading the LibGuides. I'm about a third of the way through grading the LibGuides, and after I grade the LibGuides, then I'm going to go back, hit the discussion board prompts that I hadn't yet hit, and then after that we will do the semester-long project grading. So all of that is coming. It will be done before the grading deadline, of course, but there is going to be a little wait. And please also know I've got two other classes that I got to grade out, my cultural heritage class and also my business reference class. So I'm going to be grading all of those out as well, and I'm going to be splitting time between the three classes. So yeah, just know, yeah, it's going to take a little while. Just be patient with Dr. Jace. Again, I'm happy to see where you all are now, and I am going to encourage you to just enjoy some well-deserved rest once you are done with your semester-long project. All right, so some other things that I do just want to mention very quickly when it comes to this course is that, again, I mentioned this several times in the course, but it does bear mentioning again. There are assignments in this course that will correspond best with your student learning outcome, or SLO number 4. Again, that's student learning outcome number 4. So when you are, well, what I recommend you do is save. I recommend you save a at least one assignment. We tend to just want one assignment from a particular class with the ePortfolio per student learning outcomes. So what I mean by that is like, for student learning outcome number 4, when you do your ePortfolio, you're going to have to turn in 3 assignments that you did that correspond with student learning outcome number 4. And we tend to want those 3 assignments to come from 3 different classes. So save at least one assignment that you did in this class that will correspond to student learning outcome number 4. And there are 4 assignments from this class that do correspond to that student learning outcome. You've got the Wikipedia edit assignment, the semester-long project, the LibGuide, and the virtual reference practice. All of those are assignments that can be turned in on the ePortfolio for student learning outcome number 4. So please remember that and be ready to turn that work in, okay? And really, I think that's it as far as state of the course updates and what you need to learn, what you need to know on that front. Again, I am coming through the LibGuides currently. I'm about a third of the way done with those, and after that, I will get to the other assignments, the outstanding discussion board prompts and the semester-long project. Okay. And from here, just what I want to do is encourage you all. First of all, I do want to say that I did see a remarkable amount of growth within quite a few of you throughout the semester. Now, there were a lot of you who just came in strong, and if you came in strong, there might not have been that much room for growth because you were already strong, and that's okay too. But I do see some of you who I feel actually did have just kind of an improvement in the work that you submitted and that sort of thing as we went on with the class, and that was very nice to see. I enjoyed seeing that. I enjoy seeing your growth, and I do think that a lot of you, whether you realize it now or not, I do think that a lot of you were built for working public services in a library. And for those of you who are saying, but Dr. Jace, I don't like public services, I'm becoming a librarian because I don't want to deal with the public, I just wanted to go to the back and catalog, be an archivist or something like that. What I'm going to say to you, if you fall in that situation, is first of all, a lot of even librarians who are not reference librarians tend to work the reference desk a few hours a week, maybe 2 or 3 hours a week. And so that can be you, even if you become an archivist or become a cataloger or, you know, a tech services librarian in some other regard, or an IT librarian or anything like that. You can still, even if you're not a public services librarian, you might end up on the reference desk. So that's something that you all need to be mindful of and aware of, that you could still end up doing this work. But I do, even for those of you who actually do get one of those behind the scenes jobs, and that's where you want to stay, I do, or not, let me backtrack. Even those of you who are just determined to get one of those behind the scenes jobs, you're going to end up in a public services job because that's what's available to you, and that's what's going to be paying the bills. And that was the case for me. That's what happened to me. So I'm not saying anything out of order here. I'm telling you about my own lived experience as well. I wanted to be a cataloger. I was not good at cataloging and decided I wanted to be a cataloger because I didn't want to work with people. And then once I started working with people within the library setting, I realized that working with people in the library setting actually isn't that bad. So I do think that you all will, I do think there's some of you who are going to default into public services positions and enjoy those. And so there are some classes that I would recommend if you are going to potentially be, or most likely be, a public services librarian. If you want to hone up on those public services skills, these are the 3 classes I recommend you take. Hold on. All right, yeah, so as far as classes that I would recommend if you want to be a public services librarian, hold on, I'm not gonna. Okay, so I know I said 3 classes. It's actually going to be 2 classes, but 2 classes that I'm going to recommend if you are interested in being a public services librarian specifically. One is a course that I would teach. Oh, come on, why is my computer acting like this? There we go. My computer's acting a little slow. I don't know why. All right, so this is one of them. It's going to be 9449, which is services for business communities and entrepreneurs. This class is only taught every other spring, at least for right now. It's only taught every other spring. I am trying to see what I can do in order to make the class more popular. But I actually do have 26 students in the class this spring. Usually the class doesn't make, and by make I mean usually the class doesn't get at least 10 people who are interested in doing it. This time around, however, I was able to not only get 10, but I got 26, even though this class is capped at 25, I was able to even let an extra person in, so I was very happy about that. But this is a class, I'm a former business librarian. For those of you who don't know, I used to be a business librarian for Coastal Carolina University near Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And so with that, I was qualified to actually teach this class. So we revived the class and I teach it. And yeah, I do think that if you are, here's the thing, if you are going to be a public services librarian, you are going to get business questions even if you are not a business librarian. So that's why I think it's a good idea to take this course, because this course will give you the introductory skill set that you need in order to handle business reference questions and be a business librarian. The second class that I would recommend for you is the medical librarianship class. Let's see. All right, and that would be 9416, Health and Medical Information and Services in Libraries. So the thing with business librarianship and with nursing or medical librarianship is that they do require very specific skill sets. There are a specific set of databases and resources that you would use that are very unique within the business realm and also within the medical realm. With a lot of your other topics like sociology and history and those sorts of things, those types of databases usually search, for lack of better ways of saying it, I would say that those databases typically search like normal databases. And what I mean by that is those databases typically just kind of the same way you would search Academic Search Complete or something like that. You would search a lot of your sociology databases the same way, a lot of your history databases the same way, so forth and so on. But when you're getting into medical questions, nursing questions, when you're doing things like CINAHL and PubMed and a lot of these things that are done with Ovid Technologies and that sort of thing, they require a very specific skill set. And it takes a little while to learn that skill set. And so that is a class that if you are planning to be a nursing librarian or medical librarian, then you may want to sign up for 9416. And again, with 9449, the same. Those business databases, and I can tell you this from experience as a former business librarian, those business databases just do not search like a lot of your other databases within the library realm search. So you have to kind of because they don't search the same way as a lot of your other databases. You have to do a little pivoting and do a little training and that sort of thing in order to become competent on those databases because their searchability and functionality is so different. And then there are procedures that you have to use within business librarianship as far as knowing whether you've got like a company question or industry question or a market question or something like that. You have to figure all that out in order to know where to go to answer the question. So those unique skill sets do require a lot more training. And so I do encourage you all to take my class if you're interested in becoming competent in a skill set that can up your chances of getting a public services job. Okay, and then the last thing I want to mention is this, because I don't think we have an actual government documents librarian class, but there is it's a YouTube channel, Help I'm an Accidental. Something like this, Help. Okay, something like this. Let me find this. Yeah. So what I would recommend that you all do as well, if you are interested in becoming a public services librarian, I don't believe that we have a class anymore for government documents librarianship, but that is another unique skill set. And I'll let you all know that when it comes to SUDOC numbers, which is how a lot of the older government document information is classified, as far as SUDOC numbers are concerned, I am like totally out of my element. I've only used SUDOC numbers in my entire career, and I've been in this profession since 2008, really. 2006 as a student, but 2008 as a professional. Since my over 15-year career, I have only used SUDOC numbers less than 10 times, maybe 6 times. So whenever that comes up, it really just throws me for a loop. I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? Yada, yada. I have to try to Google really quick, figure things out, and so forth and so on. So if you find yourself in a situation where you're like a government documents librarian or a government data librarian or something like that, even though we don't have a class for that, you may want to actually like subscribe to this channel here and watch some of these webinars. And these webinars can go a pretty long way in just helping you learn more about government information, librarianship, and that sort of thing, and some of the resources that you need to be familiar with and that sort of thing, okay? So I would recommend you take those 2 courses, the medical course and the business course, if you know for sure you want to be a public services librarian. And then I also recommend that you get some experience with knowing a little bit about government information librarianship, and that includes maybe subscribing to that channel, watching some of those free webinars, and if you can find some cheap textbooks on the subject, maybe getting those textbooks anyway and just having those, okay? But I am going to leave it right there. Again, you all have been fantastic. I am Dr. Jace, and you have finished the race, but keep in touch. Certainly, if you need letters of recommendation, if you've done well in this class, that's one of the things that you can reach out for, back out to me for. And I know that I will see some of you in some of the other classes I teach. So it's just a goodbye for now, but not a total goodbye. And I do look forward to my opportunities to see you all again. So thank you and take care. Have a wonderful summer.